guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle
One Piece treasure
for Dragon Ball Legends,
Genshin Impact, or Pokemon Masters,
Bleach Brave Soul
video.
For those who don't know, a gacha game is a type of mobile game from Japan where the whole point is to spend real-world money so you can get in-game currency so you can spend it on a character or an item or even a skin. The whole point is that you're supposed to be summoning for these characters to get your gacha moment. So you gacha the character, hence the name gacha. Anyway, if we really strip down the definition though to just a game with summoning, then every game these days is considered a gacha game, really, if you think about it. Even Angry Birds. In 2010, they released a power-up called the Mighty Eagle, which made you, the player, spend real-world money so you could get the in-game currency, and then he just wipes the field and you auto-win. Angry Birds, by this definition, is a gacha game. You know those claw machines at the arcades? Yeah, those are essentially the first gacha games. Gacha games really thrive on hitting the parts of our brain that fuel addiction. Between new content, banners, new sales, currency sales, timers, all that stuff. They really make you feel a sense of urgency, like you need the character right now, or else you won't ever have them ever again.
And so in conclusion, the successful freemium game is based on 5 principles. Entice the player with a simple game loop, use lots of flashing cha-chings and compliments to make the player feel good about themselves, train the players to spend your fake currency, offer the players a way to spend real currency for your fake currency, so they'll forget they're spending money, and make the game about waiting. But let the player pay not to wait. It's a surefire way to make lots of money.
Another problem really fueling the addiction is a term called power creep. The game over time releases new, harder content and new, stronger characters, making the old ones not as good or even obsolete at times. Therefore, if you want the character at their full power, you have to have them right then when they drop, or else they'll suck. Especially if they have really good animations, OSTs, voice acting, etc. Gacha games only make money because of people who buy into their addictions. Now, there are a select group of people in each gacha game community dubbed whales, who spend thousands of dollars to try to max out every new character.
The Truth DT has spent well over 500 grand on Dokkan Battle.
These dedicated whales are most likely the main source of income for gacha games, since the majority of players are typically free to play.
The truth is, a very small percentage of people who download freemium games ever pay anything for them. It's all about finding the heaviest users and extracting the most amount of cash from them. That's how you get addicts to pay $200 for a game that's not even worth 40 cents.
I want to start by discussing some terms that are really important to understand in the gacha game community. The first is free-to-play. These are players who don't typically spend any money, or if they do, it's very little here and there. The opposite of free-to-play is, well, you guessed it, pay-to-play. And these are players who are not necessarily whales, although whales would fall into this category, but people who will spend a couple bucks here and there, more than here and there, I would say, trying to increase their odds of pulling the new characters. Alongside pay-to-play is a term titled pay-to-win. This is the idea that you have to pay money in order to win. Most PvE games don't actually have a ton of pay-to-play events, but PvP games, on the other hand, well, they're a lot more pay-to-play friendly. Oh, wait, that reminds me. PvE means player versus everyone. This is typically you, the user, versus the computer, while PvP is player versus player. This means that it's you versus another player. Gambling has been around since the dawn of man. First, people bet on livestock before money was invented. Gambling has been a part of American culture since colonial times, with the California Gold Rush to now. Fun fact! New York City Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia, yes, that LaGuardia.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Banned pinball in 1942 because players would gamble on games and operators would distribute prizes. Nowadays, gambling in the United States is mostly a case-by-case, state-by-state basis. But when it comes to casinos, the most common form of gambling, they're only allowed in half of the states. Casinos are so expertly designed to get you to spend money. All cash, using chips, flashing lights, loud noises, no clocks or windows, free drinks. The casino companies have you in the palm of their hands. Over the past few years, like most things, gambling has went online, and in this case, it's in the form of loot boxes. Loot boxes are a virtual gift in a video game, which have a random assortment of items from stickers to music tracks to clothing options to even different weapons. Loot boxes are oftentimes free, but they also allow players to pay for one feeding into the dopamine centers in your brain, hoping to pull the specific item you want.
They opened my boxes! My 1,256 boxes! I was collecting those, bitch!
Loot boxes have been very controversial because of this, with multiple laws being passed all around the world taking a stance against loot boxes and microtransactions, with Belgium being the first country to outright ban them. So how are gacha games any different? Are they not just glorified loot boxes, which is essentially simplified gambling? Are gacha games not just gambling the video game? Well, yes and no. While summoning for new characters is the main focus of these type of video games, the games often do give out free currency, and you have the exact same rate to pull new characters with free currency as you do with paid currency. The only difference is if you pay for it, you get more currency, which allows you to do more summons. Gacha games also cannot legally require you to have a specific character. So, for example, in Dokkan Battle, you cannot legally require you to use Strike of Full Anger Super Saiyan Goku. But you can say use a character whose name includes Goku, parentheses, Super Saiyan, while being designed specifically around that Super Saiyan Goku. Gacha games walk this thin line between moral and immoral, and in my opinion, they're fine. I don't see how spending money on in-game currency is really that different than spending money on Pokemon or Magic the Gathering cards in hopes of getting one specific card, and I've never really heard anyone complain about those games. Well, one guy.
Children need to know there's a devil, and he hates them, and he wants to ruin their life.
At the end of the day, gacha games are just a hobby for a lot of people, and like most hobbies, as long as you're not going bankrupt trying to get these characters, then who cares what you do with your money? It's your money. If you're someone who's thinking about spending money on a gacha game, my only advice is to think about how much value it's going to bring you and how fast the character is going to age out. If they have some serious flaws in their kits, but they're really good right now, they're probably going to age out fairly quickly, meaning that they're not going to be great in the future, and you're going to go bankrupt trying to pull a character that's not going to be good in 3 months. But at the end of the day, it is your money, and if you want to spend money on it and it's going to make you happy, then go for it. Who cares? Well, that's all I have for you today. Join me next time as I talk about what happened when Pac-Man took me out behind a 7-Eleven. Alright, bye.